Hello and welcome to The Ordeal. I had a request from more than one viewer to cover the what about the gender workplace safety gap, which is another video out of Australia featuring Libby Lyons and David. I'm going to try to pronounce it. David Leyonhjelm? Leyonhjelm? I don't know. I don't speak whatever language that is. Uh, so it's just going to be more of, hey, look, we're feminists and we deserve stuff, and then people who aren't feminists going, no, you don't. But before we do that, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I do not know why I have made a lot of videos and I'm not getting much traction. It's the algorithm is all that I can assume. Now, if the algorithm is intentionally throttling back my videos, then I need you to share my videos on social media with as many people as possible. That's the only way to beat the algorithm. If my videos just aren't getting traction because they're not getting traction, then please watch to the very end, because that will help trigger the algorithm to pick them up and promote them more on YouTube. But let's take a look at the video.
I recently asked the Workplace Gender Agency, Equality Agency, a written question on notice. I asked what was the workplace safety gap, and you replied that the agency doesn't collect data on workplace safety. Do you recall that?
Yes, Senator.
Okay. So, as I understand it, the agency's legislation requires it to promote and improve gender equality in employment and in the workplace. So, it would seem to me, and I ask you to confirm this, that whether or not people return home from work alive and well and whether women, and the fact that women return from work home to home alive and well far more reliably than men do, might be a gender equality issue in employment and in the workplace.
He's mansplaining. Oh no, dude, David, you can't mansplain. These feminazis are going to get you. They're going to get you, David. Oh, mansplaining, that's like a capital offense with these people.
Is that not the case?
Senator, we collect data on six gender equality indicators that are prescribed by the Act.
Does the Act prevent you from collecting data on workplace safety in relation to gender equality?
We collect data on the 6 gender equality indicators, and I can read them out for you if you would like, Senator. And currently, none of those cover safety. We collect data on the...
So yeah, you wouldn't want to cover safety, because that would just throw off your feminazi narrative. The narrative that says, women are oppressed and women have it so much harder than men do. When in the workplace, like 94% of workplace death is male. And it's close to the same number, I think, for injury. It's something like 87%. I'll try to throw the numbers up when I talk about this. But see, these feminists think they have it all figured out. But you know what? They don't. They're trying to gain power. They're trying to become dominant. And they can only do that if their stats and figures are one-sided. Let's see what she has to say as far as what areas they cover.
The gender composition of the workforce.
Oh, the gender composition of the workforce. That's important. We have to make sure that every job is 50% male and 50% female, except for those hard jobs that are dangerous. Right? Mining, that's overwhelmingly male. Sewage work, overwhelmingly male. Sanitation work, overwhelmingly male. These dangerous jobs that women don't want to... Oil rig worker, overwhelmingly male. In fact, it's like 99.99% male. It's crazy. And a few years ago here where I live, they got the oil rigs here in the ocean. They have to get on the ships, and the way they have to get on the ships is they actually have to swing from a cable onto the ships, because the sea swells are so high that they can't just pull up to a dock and like put down a gangplank and walk on. They have to swing over. And a guy got crushed. He got crushed between the ship and the dock, because the ship dropped from underneath him, so he didn't let go of the line. And then he swung back, he hit the dock, and then the ship hit the dock and crushed him. Killed him instantly. You'll see women women probably couldn't even do that job. They couldn't swing on a line to get out to the ship, to go out to the oil rig. They're not strong enough. There's nothing at all wrong with being weak. I'm not the strongest person in the world by any stretch, but I'm strong enough to swing out to a ship. And I'm not saying that it's bad on women that they can't do that. That's just the way they're built. You know, it takes a lot more for women to get that upper body strength where they can hold on to a line and swing, especially as they get older. Like Libby Lyons definitely couldn't do that. Those pudgy arms of hers.
The gender composition of governing bodies or of relevant employers.
Okay, how is that in any way different from just having the composition of employment? So that's not, you're down to 5 now. You're down to 5 different areas. Good job.
Equal remuneration between women and men.
Yes, equal remuneration between women and men. But what if men are working harder than women? I mean, seriously, what if a man's production is twice as much as a woman's production at the same job, and they work the same number of hours? Because that happens. Men tend to produce more than women do at the same job, working the same number of hours. I'm not making this up, and that's just how it is.
The availability and utility of employment terms, conditions and practices relating to flexible working arrangements for employees, to working arrangements supporting employees with family and caring responsibilities.
Oh, okay. So in other words, gibberish. Here in the States, you know, if you're watching this here in Australia, thank you. Appreciate you guys from down under there catching my videos. This is not an issue in the United States. It's not it's not something that we look at legally, as far as I know. We don't have mandatory childcare in the United States or time off for childcare. Any of that stuff. There is no mandate nationally to give men or women time off after a child is born, and there's no mandate nationally to give parents time off to care for their children at all throughout their career.
We collect data on the consultation that employers do with employees on issues concerning gender equality in the workplace.
What? So in other words, nothing again. Consultation.
And we collect data on sex-based harassment and discrimination. They're the 6.
So sex-based harassment and discrimination. Yeah, men never get discriminated against at all, ever, right? It's always women. And they could probably pull up numbers showing that women get harassed more than men do. But men have to walk on eggshells around women, especially today. You can't even talk to a female employee, a female coworker, without getting in trouble anymore. From what I can see, the company I work at, hopefully, cross my fingers, whatever, they seem to be very egalitarian about this. It's like if there's a complaint, they don't look at it as instantaneously as harassment if it's between two people of the opposite gender. They just go in and they listen to what everybody has to say and then figure out what the situation is and decide who needs to be reprimanded.
Gender equality indicators as stated under the Act, Senator.
Are you prevented from doing anything else beyond that?
That's a matter for government.
Well, all of this is a matter for government. If you want to get down to brass tacks, you don't have to do any of this. You choose to do the things that you do because you know that it will paint women as receiving negativity and men as being the negative perpetrators. You know, this is so obviously a trick that they're trying to pull. Say, look how oppressed women are.
It's quite prescriptive as to what we collect data on.
I wonder whether if you took a greater interest in workplace safety and specifically deaths at work, of which men comprise the overwhelming majority, you may end up closing the gender pay gap because more women would be in workplaces that are currently dominated by men. Do you think that's a possibility?
Well, certainly
More mansplaining. Man, this guy, he is just, he's really asking for it. That big lady here in the black, she's going to sit on him, I think.
HP's example shows us that more women will work in what were traditionally male-dominated work sites with a redesign of equipment and whatever.
Yep. We should paint them all pink. All bulldozers should be painted pink. Jackhammers, paint them pink too. You know, mining equipment, all that needs to be painted pink. And then women will just come in droves. Yeah, if you make it easier for women to do these jobs, men will come. But is that actually feasible? Is it financially feasible? Is it technologically feasible to make mining easy for women? Is it technologically and financially feasible to make sewage work suitable for women or attractive to women? I don't think that it is. I don't think there's anything we can do to make sewage work appealing to women. Sewage work, I don't think, appeals to anyone, but, you know, a man is going to take the job if he has no other option. And I'm sure it pays really good. I bet it pays great. I don't want to do it. This is not just I don't think this is a gender thing so much as it is a testosterone thing, which is based on gender largely, yes. But I have low testosterone. I always have. I'm a very physically active person, very physically active. I exercise 6 days a week now. When I was in my 20s, I was exercising 40 hours a week, many weeks throughout my 20s. So I'm very physically active, but I still don't want to work in construction. I don't want to work in sewage. I don't want to work in mining. I don't want to do these like dangerous, physically demanding jobs. Line workers. I don't want to be a line worker, for example. I don't want to be a steel worker. I don't want to work in any metal. I mean, I don't mind working with metal. I like cutting metal and bending metal and welding and all that stuff, but I don't want to be forging steel and making things out of steel as far as like smelting is concerned. That's not that. I don't want to be a blacksmith, for example, although that not completely unappealing to me. And I think that largely comes from the fact that I don't have the testosterone that most men have. Most men have more testosterone than me, and they want to, they're comfortable doing these jobs, or they go after these jobs. They want to do this type of work. They want to prove that they're a man and they can do this. I don't have that inclination. I want to sit at a desk. And I think most women, that's what they want too, is to sit at a desk. If they want to work, they want to sit at a desk. They don't want to go out and smelt metal. I just don't, that doesn't appeal to women as far as I can tell. Let's see what she has to say here.
Whether there's a direct correlation between that and lowering the gender pay gap, I couldn't tell you, Senator.
No, she couldn't tell us that. I don't expect her to be able to tell us that because who would know? Maybe. It seems like a reasonable question, though. You know, if you put women into these high-risk jobs that pay more money, that would kind of reduce the pay discrepancy between men and women, the annual pay discrepancy. Because, like I've said, you know, these highly dangerous jobs, they pay more. You know, truckers make good money. Truck drivers, they make pretty good money typically. And it's I hear it's a just physically demanding job. Sitting all day and then having to move freight and stuff. I hear it's just not a job that most women would want to do. There are some women, of course, who do it, but for the most part, women don't want to do that. So this is just more of David Leyonhjelm, I'm going to guess, versus Libby Lyons. Libby Lyon. My viewers requested this, so I'm here to serve you guys. Like I say all the time, I do this stuff for you. I don't make any money off this. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for stopping by. Have a Merry Christmas. I will see you soon.
Some might say that the gender death gap exists because women are less interested in high-risk jobs. But is that really the case? Or are those jobs high risk because all these clumsy men keep f***ing them up and dying?